Hello, and welcome to the Benefits Beat, an interview series highlighting people leaders to advance the HR and benefits community through shared knowledge and insights. Today, we are speaking with Patricio Olivas, the Manager of People and Culture Technology at Portland Trailblazers. So, Patricio, thank you so much for joining us. Would you mind taking a moment to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, Julie. Really excited to chat with you today. About me and my experience in people and technology as a whole, I cut my teeth in restaurants starting really young. And from working in restaurants, I just decided at an early age that HR was the path and field I wanted to explore going forward. Through restaurant management and kind of learning how payroll affected the day-to-day lives of workers kind of got me interested in that space. And then also the training and development inspired me to go to school, get my HR degree, and kind of move from hospitality into more of the corporate HR world, where I found my footing in talent acquisition. And after a year or two in that space, I really found that the business intelligence side and analytics of talent acquisition, it like really kept me motivated about the employee experience. In the beginning of 2021, I joined the Portland Trailblazers.
You definitely have had quite a journey getting here. Patricio, when it comes to working on the technology side of things, what's something that brings you joy every day?
That's a really good question. And it reminds me kind of like the Marie Kondo, like do things that spark joy. And it really does spark joy in me seeing it click with someone when you teach them how to get to something faster, pull a report, or get information needed to do their job better and more effectively. And seeing people get back to doing the real work instead of being bogged down with administrative type things, that kind of things excite me. I'm also just a like heavy progressive in terms of like how we manage uh, employee files and stuff like that. And one of my favorite things I did when I got to the Portland Trailblazers was get rid of 6 file cabinets of employee files and get them digitally into systems. And that brings me joy by seeing kind of the efficiency created by that.
What do you think is top of mind for you right now when it comes to improving employee benefits experience, cultivating culture this year and beyond when you think about those systems and processes you put in place?
My like saying in the benefit space as it pertains to technology is meeting people where they are. If you have kind of a workforce that's like us with on the event space, they're working sometimes in the middle of the night, or they're working a basketball game and they're only going to be like doing the shoot around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the only time they have to actually do something like select their benefits or update their benefits. Being able to give them that mobile app experience is just point in time easier for them.
Yeah, amazing. That's something we hear a lot when it comes to companies that have, diverse workforce of a mix of knowledge workers, skilled workers, working from all over the place. So that's a great way to think about it. When people get into HR, they often don't realize how much technology is or can be involved. The last time we spoke, you'd mentioned that other people in the industry actually come to you, asking for guidance. So I'm curious, what are some of the most common questions that come up when people do reach out to you?
I think one of the most common questions I get is about the system stack and how diverse it should be in terms of the balance that is. I want to bring my employees the best product, but I also have to make a business case to spend money on certain things, and we have a budget. So that's a lot of questions I get, especially within our industry where the HR technology budget and space has to be focused and tailored, to a really, like we said, a diverse audience of employees while still respecting the financial aspects of it. So
Patricio, there's one time of year where companies tend to really showcase their benefits package. Employees have to make very important health and wealth decisions, and that is open enrollment. Can you share some open enrollment tips or a tip that you wish you had known earlier in your career?
absolutely. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, planning is the biggest tip I've ever to give to anyone. Start as early as possible. Some of my favorite co-benefit administrators have been the people who want to start in July for an open enrollment that's in October. Get yourself prepared for update documentation and really do some sort of like focus groups, because in my experience, without tailoring the experience of open enrollment to that diverse population, you really kind of fail to meet them where they are, as I was saying before.
That's a great way to do it. I think sometimes the more you know about something, you forget how much is not obvious or not something someone would think about. So
That's probably the main thing I've learned moving in from, like, just a kind of a non-technology HR professional moving to a purely HR technology professional.
what are some of the strategies you guys put in place to ensure employees are, getting the most from their benefits throughout the year and engaging with them?
One of the main things we focus on is a like evergreen Slack channel of benefits and total rewards communication to our employees. That way it's kind of in their pocket at all times. They get that heads up. It's where they can always find like our consistently posted like Columbia or Nike passes, but also kind of the reminders of here's what's in our EAP on on a regular basis, as that continues to be one of the most challenging facets of a total rewards package to get people to use. So we leverage that a lot.
HR is not always pretty. Sometimes there are rough days. What do you do after a day of putting out fire? How do you unwind?
I'm actually an avid runner. I just love kind of hitting the pavement after a long day. And that allows me to kind of just come back home, take a real hot shower, cuddle with my German Shepherd, who I'm surprised has not interrupted this call at all. Oh, he's actually sleeping. I should not interrupt that. But that's the main way I come down. I think every weekend though is my 48 hours to spend with my boys, and we go out in the wilderness or we go to an indoor playground. We just express a lot of energy and try to come home and sleep super hard at the end of the day. And I think that's the best way to get me even just recharged and ready for the next week after.
Patricio, this is so helpful and thank you for sharing. I know there are a lot of people out there that appreciate all the insights. So really great to have you here today.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great chatting.